Hi everyone, this is an overview of your mini research assignment, and this will help you for this assignment and your next one as well. So we're going to go through some tips for success. So as we're getting started, we're going to go ahead and examine things that you want to gain through this presentation and pay special attention to that will help you as you complete your assignment. And first of all, we're going to talk about determining the topic for your mini research assignment, and then looking for appropriate search terms, followed by identifying those resources that can help you to find the information that you need in the databases. And then we're going to look at selection criteria as far as to get the scholarly articles that you need using the search. And then we're going to look at sort of establishing a system to review the articles that you need for your assignment. And you will need to review several articles, and you'll need to select at least 10, and you may have more articles than that as well. So we're going to also examine how to define themes within the articles that you select, and we're also going to look at how to synthesize that content into a literature review. And then at the very end, we're going to put everything together as far as establishing that topic, the significance of the issue, looking at the literature review, and writing that conclusion for your assignment. So let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to talk about selecting a topic. And what's really important is that you select a topic that is of interest to you. So what is your area of interest? What do you want to look at? Is there a particular area of practice that you want to focus on? Is there a practice problem where you are currently practicing that you want to investigate? Make sure that this is a meaningful exercise for you, because you can use this information in your practice or whatever population you serve as well. So it may be a focus for improvement if there's a particular issue that you want to improve within your practice, looking at a particular population, possibly a prevention focus, are ways to limit the effects of disease. So it may be a tertiary type prevention aspect, where looking at those with chronic disease and how can we help them to be healthier and maintain a higher level of health within that chronic disease. So there's all kinds of topics, but the most important thing and what I want you to gain is actually what's important to you and what you want to focus on for this particular assignment to make it very meaningful. So when we're looking at the different databases and doing those searches, once you establish your topic, it's really important to think and brainstorm of terms that are associated with that topic. And it may be a particular disease process, such as CHF. You may want to use terms such as heart disease. You may want to look at interventions associated with heart disease or CHF. You may want to look at lifestyle issues surrounding CHF. There may be a number of different things, but if you can refine your topic, then excuse me, you can actually establish those keywords that you want to use to search. What's associated with that particular topic area, and is it developing a discharge program? Discharge planning may be some of the terms that you use if that's the area of focus. You may be looking at self-care if you're looking at discharge planning. You may be looking at educational materials. You may be looking at health literacy. There's a number of different aspects, but really refine your topic so you can list out the topics that are the words that you want to search when you're using the databases. And the more precise that your words or your descriptors are, the more refined your search will be. So you want to really think long and hard about doing that search and what other terms may be associated with that particular topic. You may want to look at heart disease with the elderly, so you may want to put that qualifier in as well. So all of those types of things are considerations when you're doing your search. And with that being said, there's a wonderful resource available to you, and it's free. We actually have the nursing research guide called the One Stop Library Shop. There's a link right there in our course, and it's on the left-hand side in your menu in the course. Just click on One Stop Library Shop, and that will provide you with not only some tools, but it will also have a direct contact as far as email for our resource librarian as well. So let's take a look at that. In your course, you will find that if you click on the One Stop Library Shop, this is what you will see. So there are some tabs that will help you. One is Research Help, and you can click on that tab when you're in the course, and it will open up to selecting your topics and some of the key words, some cues to help you. Or if you want assistance from our reference librarian, you can click on the email me, and you can get an email sent directly to Paul Worrell, and he's wonderful to work with, and he will help you with those search terms. So I want to strongly encourage you to actually access his services, and he will help you to save tons of time when you're doing your searches, not only for this assignment, but in the future as well. So I really strongly encourage you to access that resource because it's available to you, and it will save lots and lots of time for you in the future. So when you actually use your search terms and you're doing your search, you are finding your articles, so you'll want to select your articles. And from that, you can take a look at module number 1, and there are some resources. We're really putting everything together in this assignment, all the things that we've learned so far in the course. So you may want to refer back to module 1. You'll want to make sure that you have peer-reviewed research or peer-reviewed articles from an academic or scholarly journal, and typically it's best to have them published within the last 5 years because that will give you the most recent evidence to actually consolidate and use as you're developing your little mini research paper. So you can also use some authoritative websites, and I do recommend that you consider web resources that do have the .gov, because with the government websites, they have to adhere to a high level of standard as far as making sure that the correct information, the appropriate information, and the information that follows the best evidence is out there on their websites. So make sure that when you're selecting your articles, we know that you need to have 10 articles for this particular assignment. You will want to choose more than 10. And from that, you will actually decide what articles, what 10 you will use are somewhere near 10 or above articles that you'll want to use. So you want to start out by just kind of skimming through things, get an idea by looking at the abstracts, and then as you have those articles that seem to be most appropriate to your area of focus, you will want to read the entire article and remember your critiquing skills that we've been practicing. And then you'll want to choose the best evidence. So when you're choosing your 10 or more articles, if you choose to do so, make sure that you're choosing those that have the best evidence. And our current module actually has some content as far as the levels of evidence, so you can see what levels actually have more rigor and are stronger. And then you want to, as you're reading and those articles that you've selected, highlight or take notes on those articles, or highlight when you're reading those articles on your computer so that you have content that you will actually reference when you put everything together. So next, we're going to consider the themes. So as you've highlighted everything on your articles, what kind of themes are you seeing as far as what's included in the articles, and how are you going to consolidate that information. And you may refer back to how one would write an outline before. You would have those key topics, and then you would consolidate the information in each of those categories. So that's kind of the same kind of principles when we're establishing the themes. So you want to identify your primary themes. You want to group your articles by themes, because when you're doing your actual paper, you will use the title of the theme as a section in your literature review, because you're going to take the articles that say similar or congruent type things about a particular topic together, and you're going to consolidate that information so that it flows. So you're going to not just provide an overview of this article, then this article, then this article. What you're going to do is take those articles and consolidate the information to bring all the information together about a particular theme. If you have any questions about that, let me know. You will also want to glean appropriate content from the articles for your introduction. You're going to want to grab the reader's interest in that introduction and really show your reader why that particular topic is important, why it's important to you, why you're looking at this topic. So this is a very objective, use statistics, use why this is so important to really dive into the literature and examine what's going on with your particular topic. So like I said earlier, you're going to establish those themes, and those themes are going to be the subheadings within your literature review. Let's see. Okay, there we go. And then when we get to the mini research assignment itself, so make sure you always have your APA book at your side when you're doing your writing. And you want to really take a look back at the previous modules and just kind of think about, you are actually applying everything that we've learned so far in this particular assignment. So we're really putting what you've learned into action. So with the assignment itself, you will be doing your title page. You will also introduce your issue or topic. You're going to talk about the significance of the issue or topic in that introductory part of your paper, and then you're going to go into the literature review, and you're going to have at least 3 themes. And you can identify if there's anything that you didn't see in the research. Is there a gap in the research that's there? So you want to, again, you're applying your critiquing skills as you're doing your literature review as well. And typically there's a conclusion to a literature review. So you want to take everything together and really do a review or an overview of the key components that were included in your literature review, what you found, and then of course follow up with that reference list. So just some very quick tips for success. You want to make sure that you go back into some of our previous modules, and I've listed out what's contained in each one of the modules that you may find to be helpful as you're completing your mini research paper. So just remember that the paper doesn't have to be extensively long, and you want to be clear and concise with your language and use the principles that we've covered as far as writing professionally using the APA manual. So make sure that you take a look at the rubric as well that's located in our module, and let me know if you have any questions.